Good morning! Happy Friday! How's everybody doing today? Good, I hope. Getting ready for a weekend. This is the weekend before Christmas break, so I'm sure you're all excited. Okay, let's get to work. If you haven't yet, please write down the aim, which is how does Tennessee Williams reveal Stella's choice through language? And Stella is a little cut off over here, but it would be like that. Okay, just a little bit technical difficulties over here. Stella's. We all know that there's an apostrophe S there, right? Because she is in possession of her choice. So it's Stella's choice. Okay, but how does Tennessee Williams reveal her choice through language? Because it's very important that we look specifically at the words Tennessee Williams uses. Now, for the motivation, I want you all to think about synonyms for the word fierce. What are words that are similar in meaning to the word fierce? Okay, I'm going to give you a moment to think about what pops into your head when you hear the word fierce. I'm sure you're all thinking of Sasha Fierce. That's Beyonce's alter ego. So what is she trying to convey when she says Sasha Fierce? All right. So hopefully you've all done that by now, and let's now go to fierce synonyms for fierce. Okay, it's basically having a violent and unrestrained nature. You could be savage as a fierce dog, or you're wild or turbulent in force, action, or intensity, like a fierce storm. You could be vehement, intense, or strong, as in a fierce competition. This is how it's used informally, so not often. It could mean that you're disagreeable or unpleasant. And if you're interested in language, it comes from the French fierce and the Latin ferus. Because we know that English, a lot of our words are taken from the French and the Latin. Okay, so Sasha Fierce, what do you think that she is calling herself? I would say she's probably saying that she is wild or turbulent in force, action, intensity. But how does Tennessee Williams use the word? Let's look. Okay, so by the end of scene 4, Stella has made a clear choice. And this is how you would write it if you were writing an essay on this topic. Okay, right? This is the correct format for writing evidence. Tennessee Williams writes, Stella has embraced him with both arms fiercely and full in the view of Blanche. And I forgot some quotation marks right there. That would be the correct format. So now look at my analysis. The choice of the word fiercely shows the intensity of her desire. She is not thinking logically or rationally as someone using the ego of her psyche. She is savagely operating from her id. Stella chooses desire. So notice how I looked up the synonyms for fierce and how I'm using them in my analysis. Okay, so when you write your essays and you're quoting the text, look specifically at a word's meaning and then use it in your analysis. Okay, that shows me and your future college professors that you're looking closely at the language. All right, now, Tennessee Williams also sets up a conflict. And conflict is one of your literary terms, which you will need to show that you know on the English Regents. So look at what he writes. He says, over her head, he grins through the curtains at Blanche. Over her head, he grins through the curtains at Blanche. Is that the smile of love and appreciation? Based on the language that's used, what can you infer about that particular smile? So everybody write this quote down, and then I want you to underline the important words and phrases. Okay, and then I want you to write a short paragraph analyzing those words and phrases for how Tennessee Williams is establishing conflict. Okay, so again, you are showing that you can do a close analysis of the language in a text and relate it to a literary element. So everybody just take a moment to write about how Tennessee Williams uses certain words and phrases to establish conflict. Okay, so after we share a few of those responses, I want you to consider one last moment. Or no, this is not a specific moment from the text. This is a quote taken from Alfred A. Montpert, who was a philosopher. He said, "Every person has free choice, free to obey or disobey the natural laws. Your choice determines the consequences. Nobody ever did or ever will escape the consequences of his choices." Now, if you don't understand this in your lives yet, you will very soon. That is that we are all born with choice. We can make up to 100 different choices a day. And of course, not all of those choices matter, like what you choose to eat or whether you decide to go to bed at a certain time. Not all of them matter. But you better be sure that there are choices that you make that matter. And if you're avoiding that reality, okay, you are going to be surprised when there are certain consequences that you didn't expect. And here is Stella. Stella is choosing desire, okay, but she is unaware of the consequences of her choice. What do you think? What do you predict will be the consequences of her choice. And for to help you figure that out, think about what the consequences were for Blanche in choosing desire. All right, happy Friday, everybody. Thank you for your constructive criticism yesterday on how to improve this video lesson. I probably was unable to integrate all of your criticism, but I did try to boost up my voice a little. And I am drinking espresso, so there may be some other sounds that are maybe a little unpleasant to your ears, but for the most part, I will continue to try to improve these so that you are getting a little bit of entertainment, but more importantly, some really important learning about literature. All right, happy Friday, everybody, and let's get into scene 5. Take out your books.